Hey y'all, we're back with another episode of No Approval Needed. This episode we're gonna be discussing part 3 and 4 of The Last Dance. So we're gonna start it off with how do y'all feel watching this, how do y'all feel about Dennis Rodman now?
I started off. I think Dennis Rodman played a major role in the Bulls championship run. He was the person that they needed in replace of Horace Grant, and they just picked a better defensive player, rebounder, to replace Horace Grant, and I think he did a great job. I mean, I don't think nobody else could have did what they needed for that, and Dennis played a big part in that the championship run that he had with them.
I think that Phil did a good job. My manager did it right. Like he needed some space and stuff like that. He did his job. Party.
Yeah, he wanted to catch where you had to treat him. You couldn't treat him like everybody else.
Yeah.
If you treated him like everybody else, you weren't gonna get what you got out of him.
Did wrong.
You was gonna lose him. You was gonna lose him. He was gonna fade away from the game or do something real stupid. He was already doing stupid stuff, but real stupid that he can't come back from.
Yeah, I think it goes back to that saying that people say you can treat everybody fair, but you can't treat everybody the same.
Yeah.
And it's a proven fact that you couldn't treat Dennis the same as you treat everybody else, because in this day and time, will they get away with saying I want a vacation? I need 48 hours.
He'll be all over the news and everything.
Yeah, you know, the things that he did.
It wasn't
You know.
social media. It wasn't nothing like that.
You know,
'Cause they would have caught everything they were doing in Vegas in that casino.
So basically, yeah, like speaking of social media, you don't think he'll last during this days of age?
I think he'll be suspended indefinitely by the commission.
No, I don't think he would have as long a career as he did then now. Especially with some of the antics he had during playing days.
I'll take it back a little farther than that. His departure from Detroit, his career probably been over then.
Yeah.
If you remember in the episode, it was talking about him having a gun in the car, fixing to kill himself. They're thinking about whether or not he's gonna kill himself. That's why they traded him. You remember?
Yeah.
That's why they traded him. I don't think he probably got another chance after that in this time. You know, and that would be sad because the Dennis Rodman that we know, you know, we wouldn't be talking about him right about now because you know him being who he is part of the reason why he's a Hall of Famer.
Yeah. To piggyback what you said, like when he went to San Antonio, you can see he wasn't happy. Like he did the right coach to manage him. He let him be Dennis Rodman. He went to the Bulls. You see he was happy. He was, you know, did his job, winning.
I was kind of taken by storm when he talked about he being as wild as he is. You was kind of surprised. Anybody kind of surprised when he said they didn't even talk much. He didn't ever talk to them at practice. He didn't even talk. I remember him saying that in one of his little documentaries that I watched him. He said that when they would go to a restaurant, they would sit at tables and they would sit at tables together and wouldn't even talk. And that it was like he was not a big conversator.
You talking about when he was with Chicago?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, so he didn't conversate at all. So he very seldom talked to anybody about anything. He did most of his talking. Only time they really communicated was on the basketball court. And they also talked about what y'all talk about is they talked about how his IQ was of the game. You know, he had a high IQ of the game. You
I
know?
don't think like coming up playing basketball, you don't see that part. They don't tell you that part that he was a student of the game. All you hear is Phil managed him, let him do what he kind of needed to do so he could produce. You don't hear the part of him being the student of the game. How the documentary say he was. Like they say he knew everything. Like even when he started talking, he was like, I know if you should have did way, the rebound won't come to this way. Like he had studied it. But you don't hear about that. Back then you wasn't hearing about this, so you just heard about the crazy stuff he was doing. Now you didn't hear that he was, you know, even though he been in Vegas for over 48 hours, I guarantee you he know the film for whoever they finna play when he returned. You know what I'm saying? Back like that. But yeah, I was shocked at that part right there. I didn't understand. I didn't, just from being a basketball player and just listening and learning about Dennis Rodman early in life, you didn't hear about that part. I think that was very interesting.
So, saying all that, do y'all think that Michael Jordan, do you think the Bulls have that second three-peat if they don't acquire Dennis Rodman? Me personally, I say no.
I think they would have won about 1 or 2, but I don't think they would
I
have
don't
won
think it was a 3-peat.
3. They would have won 3.
Without Dennis Rodman on that team for the second 3-peat, no, they don't win.
Yeah,
I mean, I just don't think they'll win. They don't.
he did all the dirty work.
You know, he was here. I mean, he guarded people that was 2 times his size. He did all the dirty work. No, that was. I think somebody posted. They posted a stat lineup where he had 4 or 5 games with 0 points with 20 rebounds. So I mean, you know, I just don't. They didn't have anybody else to do that kind of work for them.
Especially against the Jazz. In the final, they would have no answer for Karl Malone.
Yeah, he was talking about even the first part, like when Scotty had surgery and was out, and they was talking about how Michael and Dennis kept it together for a minute, and then Dennis started slacking off or whatever like that. And Mike he came to Michael Jordan's room. Mike was talking about where Dennis came in and he didn't actually say he was sorry, but he came in and asked for a cigar, stuff like that. That was his way of saying, "Look, I got you from now on." But in Jordan's own words, I mean, let's be real. In his own words, he don't have the success that to me that he had without. It was a proven fact that he wasn't gonna have it without Scotty. And sure enough, was struggling when Dennis was doing not locked in like they said he was. He wasn't locked in early. When he got locked in, they went on a winning streak before Scotty got back.
I'm glad you brought it up. So, speaking of Jordan and his success, I know you said he wouldn't have had it without Scotty and Robin. So, what you think about the culture change with Phil? Do you think he still had that success without Phil? They continue to have Doug Collins?
I think he still had the same individual success, but as far as team success, for winning a 6 championship, I don't think he had that much success.
Yeah, he don't have that. He don't have it because they said Doug Collins made the system to where it just was Mike. Just you know, every basket was Mike.
But Phil came in and said, "No, you need a team. You need a team."
Yeah.
And Jordan had to see that. He struggled with it at first.
Yeah.
But he
And
finally
he
saw
didn't want to do it. Then Phil said
Yeah.
he ain't buy into it at first.
Remember, he said he wasn't on Phil guy at first.
Yeah, he wasn't a Phil Jackson guy. And that's the beauty of it, man, because if you think about it, you're talking about a guy who even Scottie Pippen stated it. He was saying that Michael Jordan, it was all about Michael Jordan first, and when Phil was more about team, Doug Collins was all about putting the ball in Michael's hand. Phil was about the triangle, and I like the way, you know, in the documentary when they talked about how Phil got Tex Wonder to put the triangle together. And I was looking at some today before, you know, we came in and started doing this. I watched the interview of Craig Hodges, and he was talking about how Mike didn't understand that he can use less energy in the triangle offense, and that's why they became a great defensive team on the other side of the ball, because they didn't have to use so much energy on the offense side of the ball because it was more geared to a team, and it took him to buy into that, and you know, hey, it worked out for him.
And even like I think the train offense kind of unlocked Scottie Pippen game too. That I wonder like which we know Scottie Pippen be the Scottie Pippen that we know if Phil didn't come implement the train offense too. That's another question.
Yeah, Doug Collins did the coach. He ain't gonna get that.
When you get that Scottie Pippen that we know now, the Hall of Fame Scottie Pippen.
That's a good question, because again,
I think like what Mike said. I think Michael Jordan probably still get an individual accolade like he gonna get them scoring titles. I think he would have got all that type of stuff, MVP and all that, but titles, I don't think he would have, like championships. I don't think he would have got that many if the coaching change didn't happen.
He needed Phil.
He needed Phil.
Do you guys even think he'd get a championship without Phil?
I think
he probably would have got one. He probably would have snuck out one.
I think he'll be in the same situation LeBron is in right now. He went to multiple ones, lost some because he didn't have the pieces that he needed to win in certain situations.
I don't think he would have got the 9 though.
No, he would have got that many.
No, I'm not saying he would have got the 9. I mean, think about it. He played with 6. He didn't play with 6 championships. So, you know, out of all the time he played all 6 he played and he won. What I'm saying to you is he wouldn't have won all of them. Just say, for instance, he made it to all 6 of those. He'd probably would be 2 and 4.
I agree. I don't think the same thing.
Yeah, and those without those guys, because you know they're talking about the things with even with Isaiah Thomas. You know, I went back and I researched and I did something, and we talked about this in our last session. The 90s basketball really wasn't as good as the 80s.
Exactly.
And so it was talking about the talent level that they was playing against, that he's playing against in the championship versus even what they played against in the 80s.
Yeah, because I seen some on, I ain't really watch it, but it was a snippet on First Take when they was talking about the LeBron and Jordan debate, and Stephen A was trying to make the argument like, yeah, Michael Jordan may have not played, the great talent like LeBron had played in the finals, but his road to get into the finals
Was tougher, yeah.
tougher. But in the 90s, it really wasn't tougher because in the East, it wasn't really nobody in the East in the 90s for
Yeah.
Yeah, like the Patrick
And the thing about it, the
Lonzo
team,
Moore and Shaq, but all them like
I
centers.
don't know who was on that Cavs team.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like, they weren't really like that. Like these people trying to make a scene. That's the first rank part. I know that's another topic for another day.
but they had their moments, they had their tough moments, but at the end of the day, the biggest thing was I think LeBron finals. At the end of the day, if they want to talk about that stuff, look at how many times that Jordan didn't make it. Versus LeBron, at least he was there, and he just didn't have enough firepower to win it.
That like Jordan's career started in '91.
Yes.
That's what they try to make it seem like his career started in
They pick
'91.
and choose
Yeah.
what they want to.
No bandwagon
Yeah,
fan right there.
they
You
want to
pick
pick
up
and
when
choose
he
what you
start
want to
winning.
include. You know what I'm saying?
I mean, my whole thing would I go back to, and I just think about something else. We talk about Jordan, and we talk about the triangle offense. Does Scottie Pippen become one of the top 50 greatest players or a Hall of Famer if that change never happens?
But then they say the old man that was already on the coach staff, that was really his triangle.
Yeah.
Doug Collins wasn't feeling it.
Yeah.
Doug wasn't feeling it.
Tex Winters. He was trying to get Doug Collins to implement it, and Doug Collins didn't want it. He didn't hit it, and that's when he finally went to
Teacher Field.
he went to Jerry
Short
Krause.
dude, yeah.
Jerry Krause, and she told Jerry Krause about it, and Jerry Krause now made the move to bring Field on to take the coaching job, and Field had already befriended Tex Winters, and Jerry Krause said, "Hey, this is how we wanted to go
I
now."
wanted to do. Did Doug kind of know his day was number when Field was assistant coach?
Yes, he said he already knew Field was going to be. I mean, they brought him there to be a coach, and it just to me, based on what this whole first episode, what they talked about Jerry Krause, if he was as low down as they say he was, you had to know there's something going on for him to bring Phil Jackson in.
Because while Doug kind of coaching, you saw that Field and Tex would start develop that relationship. He started.
So then he had the old man. He kicked the old man out the bench or something. He gave him demoted.
He made him sit.
He demoted him.
The announcer series like
Yeah.
He kicked.
I was just on quick.
That was the last time when Texas told him he needed to run the triangle
Triangle.
offense, and he told him now, and they put him at the
He was
scoreboard.
different now, Doug Collins.
Yeah, they put him at the scoreboard.
I know he's older, but
Yeah.
man, he done been through some things. But yeah, another thing I wanted too, it came out now that was it Michael Jordan trainer or agent? One of them basically said, agent basically said that if Michael Jordan played in today's game, he'd average anywhere between 50 and 60 points. Me personally, I don't think that's true at all. But I just want to get y'all what y'all think about that.
I think that I think at the first beginning of the season when they'll be playing on defense for real, he'll be able to get up and get off on them baskets. I think, but average that for the whole season, no. I don't see that.
I mean, think about it like this. We just got to talk about the two different eras of Michael Jordan.
It's hard to have 50 points.
Yeah, it
But
is.
just think about how we just talked about the two eras that Michael Jordan had in his own career. The era with Doug Collins and the era with Phil Jackson.
Yeah.
If he playing with Phil Jackson, he might not score
No.
35. He might average 35, 37 points a game. 30, if that, really. Be honest with you. If he playing with Phil.
that.
But now if he playing with Doug Collins, the way it
ball
was,
in the hand all the
he's
time.
pretty much James Harden.
But James
Nah,
Harden,
well,
you gotta think about
yeah.
Go ahead, you go ahead.
I think that whole for somebody to say that disrespectful to the guy that's in the league today, man. That you think that somebody can average 50 points a game, man.
I mean, I think when
man.
people make statements like that, I think they be exaggerating, they be overdoing it a little bit. But they're just saying that he probably, in some of the words, I think they're saying that he could dominate this era as well.
I just disagree. Everybody's just as athletic as
I disagree, man. 'Cause you got people just bigger, stronger, more athletic, just as athletic as he is, man. Think about it. He was probably the most athletic player in the league when he was playing. Nowadays, you got high school players doing some of the same stuff he did in dunk contest and stuff. Easy.
I'm saying this. I'm not saying that he would average 50 points. I'm saying I think that he could be just as dominant. Let's put it like this. Somebody asked a question the other day. They said, "Could LeBron play in this era? In that era?
Easy.
And I think
just think his size. It's just
size.
easy.
Easy. What
He'll
difference?
take more of a beating than he would.
But what difference would
I
it
think
make?
LeBron be more dominant in the 80s and 90s than he is now because of his strength. He gonna be able to hand check, push people around in the direction he want. He'll be a better
The
defender.
LeBron, the prime LeBron would.
You know, is
Not-
the difference now?
Yeah, no. What I'm saying to
I
you.
think he's better now.
No.
What you talking about, Brian?
No,
Like,
what I'm saying.
you saying?
No,
Get
what
out.
I'm
What
saying.
you saying?
What I'm saying is that the younger LeBron wouldn't do that. He just like he didn't know he wouldn't go in and dominate. He would have been a young man coming into the league, 18, 19 years old in that era with those type of rough riders. I don't think he would have took over. His mentality wouldn't allow
But
him.
y'all can't say that. You gotta. If you're gonna put him in an area, you gotta put him in a situation where he growing up in an area. You know what I'm saying?
That's
So his
it.
mentality will be totally different.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying.
So-
well, you know,
So you gotta give him the benefit the same way people want to give Michael Jordan the benefit of the doubt. Oh, he would have adjusted
You
his
can't
game
say
to the
Michael
three.
Jordan would've
He would have
adapted.
adjusted his game
And
to the
LeBron.
three and
I
adapted to
understand
that
it.
situation.
I'm not saying-
but not giving LeBron the same benefit.
no, I'm
of the
not
doubt.
saying that. I'm just saying that from the beginning. I'm thinking.
But
Of,
you gotta think. I'm saying he growing up in that situation. That's the style. That's why he growing up with. So his mentality is totally different.
Well, I
Same
mean,
thing. If
well,
Michael Jordan
if-
grew up in
if-
this era, his mentality be different. He'll
if-
shoot more threes.
If we're gonna use it that way, when we talk about that mentality, I was talking about based on skill set and the people that we know of as today from the time LeBron came
Yeah,
into the league.
LeBron. Well, once again, it's working in LeBron's favor. His strength early on was the shooting. We'll get to the basket.
He be dunking all over the
You know what I'm saying? So he'll be shooting a bunch of free throws and stuff.
He probably would, but like I said, I just don't. I think LeBron came in. I think me personally, I think he would have adjusted to that game more. He probably would have been more of a Magic Johnson type guy. Then I think he would have dominated the game more like he's fixing to dominate the game now these last 3 or 4 years as a point guard. I think he would play that game. Back in the day, he would play with them the way he's playing now. I think that's why I told people a long time ago, LeBron will play 4 or 5 more years in the league because he's gonna be a 6'8", 6'9" point guard. He's not gonna need his athletic ability to dunk over people. He's gonna use his size and his God-given talent to do the things.
So what
he
your
does.
answer? You said no to Michael Jordan every 50 points a game.
I'm saying no, he would not average 50 points a game.
What you think, bro?
No, I don't think no average. I don't think he'll average. He'll get a couple of those, but
Yeah.
he won't average. He won't average.
My whole opinion,
What about you? What
I
about you?
think he'd be in the 30s, but no, it's hard for anybody to average 50 points.
Yeah.
They'll be shooting a lot of balls, man.
Yeah, and then
You
how
gotta
up and
be-
down the
you gotta
game
be
is,
on, like,
man.
You tell them you're gonna bring your game every day, 82.
Yeah, you talking about, and that's what
Like,
when
average
people
50.
when
You
people
know,
say
you know how many shot attempts you gotta get up?
yeah, when people say stuff like that, you got to they talking about their era. They're talking about their era, and they want to make their era out to be that era to be out better than this
Look at all
era.
them shots
And vice
James Harden
versa.
takes.
And the same that's the point I feel to make. James Harden take more shots probably than anybody. He ain't averaging 50. So
And
how is it
even
going
Jared
to be?
Harden, he averaged what 36, 37 regular
Yeah.
season, but in playoff time that goes all the way down to about
Yeah,
27, 28. Yeah, so
I just don't think he will average 50 points.
I
He
just,
had to be shooting every ball.
Oh,
He
Every
yeah.
ball.
He would have to be on the Jordan team when he came in the league, when he didn't
I
have
don't even
nobody
think
else.
he averaged that. Then I just feel like everybody's
Like,
just as
I don't think
talented.
so.
as he is.
Look,
We're not
Kobe,
talented.
that shit, we had nothing. When he was in that prime, he had what, 35?
35.
35. Like, it's hard to average that stuff. James Harden, what, 36, 35?
36.
Yeah, he would have got a couple. He would have had a couple games. You know they ain't gonna play no defense. No first game, first couple seasons when they be playing no defense, really just run them down the floor. He would have got them.
Don't get me wrong. I think Michael Jordan could average anywhere from what 30, 35 on a good year. But for say somebody gonna average 50 points, man, no.
I don't know, man.
No.
I call me a Michael Jordan hater. I just don't see it.
It's just like
I mean, you can't take away the and you just be honest. I think what I'm taking away from the documentary is that me being in the era that I'm in and being the oldest of this group, I was able to see Jordan play in his prime, and I saw how talented he was. I see that he is just as gifted as a lot of the guys that are playing in the league today. I think we always talk about, could he play in this era, that era, and this era? Could LeBron them play in that era? Could KD play in that era? That's the only special group of people that will fit in those eras and make those adjustments like that. And I think he's one of the ones that could do it. Jordan, you know, they called him the Black Cat, and I think he just had something special about him that he had the drive and the desire to be the best. And I think when you have that kind of mentality, you're gonna be successful in whatever area he has played in.
Do you think the players like KD could have played back in that era?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yes.
I don't like that.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of him.
Yeah.
Do you think he could play there in that
Yeah,
area?
because you can outright score.
Yeah,
Yeah,
He just can score. You can't take that away, but he just can score.
He don't gotta get to the rag and all
You don't
that.
gotta get
Yeah,
to the
I mean,
You can't do nothing about
because
it.
you had guys, people fail to realize now. We talk about football, but you had guys who played the finesse type basketball. George Iceman Gervin was never. You never talk about hearing anybody talk about Iceman being a somebody that take bumps and bruises. Even though he came up in an era where toughness was tough. That's not saying he wasn't tough, but he was a KD of that era. Finesse
Shoot
type
like KD?
Yes, he could shoot the ball. George Gervin was when you get a chance to YouTube. George Gervin was an Iceman. He was smooth and can score at will and slender body frame just like KD. I think George Gervin probably about 6'7", 6'8", 6'9".
KD's side would have took over, but I think they would have bumped him a little bit, you know. But
He
he
just
shoot.
scored.
He
Yeah,
can
you
score.
can't do nothing
Yeah.
about
He
it.
don't gotta get to the rack and all that like
Yeah,
Jordan.
you can score from anywhere.
Yeah, you can pull up and fall
Yeah,
it.
but when you talk about again,
On the bumps, only take you so far.
Yeah.
Only take you
People
so
try it
far.
now with him and see what he doing.
Yeah.
Still.
He
but
just
when you
scored.
get y'all get a chance to before the next episode, look at George Gervin, the Iceman, and you're gonna see that was a KD before the KD. I mean, smooth. He didn't shoot threes all the time like KD, a bunch of threes, but he could shoot the three ball. He could put it on the floor. He could get to the basket. He was the guy that everybody just wanted to do the finger roll off of. George Gervin, he was smooth with the finger roll. So, but that's they same type body style and played in that era and was very successful. Yeah, I think KD could play it.
I want to jump around a little bit here. How do y'all feel about the Pistons not shaking the Bulls' hands when they lost that game? Do y'all feel like they was wrong, or do you just think, I mean, we lost, we be shaking our hands? So how y'all feel about that?
I mean, Isaiah brought up a good point. He can't go against his leader, one of the leaders. I mean, the leader, Bill said, we're not shaking their hand. What you supposed to do?
I mean,
He kind of stuck in a hard place. You know, his leader coming like, we're not shaking their hand. You just gonna find the leader of the team.
Joe
Shake their
Dumars
hand.
did though, didn't he?
Yeah, Dumar did. I think I don't know why the Bulls so upset. I wouldn't care, especially if I had a one. Why I'm mad for? Okay, loser. I don't want to shake our hand anyway. Y'all lost. We beat y'all. So what? Like, it wouldn't be no big deal.
So you think the Bulls were being sensitive about it?
Yeah, I think
I
they feel.
don't think it's a big deal.
I
You
don't
see
think
it
it's
now
no
that
big
teams
deal.
don't shake hands and stuff. It's the way how you do it, but it's not a big deal. Shaking hands, like Larry Bird said, they didn't shake no hand when they were coming up. So
he said
why
they
they
shake
made
hands.
this out of? I think they were just using that to pick on Isaiah.
Trying to build
Yeah,
more stuff,
build
give more
stuff, big
reason
on
why they
Isaiah.
didn't put them on. They didn't put them on the West
But
Coast.
I think, like I said, when I watched the first tape the next day, and they had Isaiah on the show on Get Up and First Take, and Isaiah brought some good points up when he said about what people fail to realize is that none of them never did that stuff back in the day. He said like Bird and them didn't shake their hand, you know. He said, but people fail to realize I caught Kim Hill, and me and him had words, but Bird was gone, and nobody never said anything about it. What kind of got me with it, and I'm learning a lot of different things. Cause like I said, I was in that era, but I'm learning a lot of different things that I didn't know. Was I didn't realize that Jordan had did so much negative talk about the Pistons.
Yeah, so
before
they
that
ain't bring
last
that
game.
up in the
I didn't know that until
documentary.
the documentary.
What he had said before that.
Yeah, he had.
They did say bring it up a little bit though, didn't
No, they
No,
didn't
ain't
talk
bring
in the
I
documentary
don't think they mentioned it in the documentary.
No.
What they said?
about
But
Jordan
had said that
Jordan
day
Phil
before,
Jackson was saying about they
wasn't
they
good
were
champions.
good
good
champions.
people, they were bad champions,
They ain't
and
good
they
for
were
the
good for the
thugs,
league. But they were thugs. And the people from Detroit took offense to it. The Pistons took offense to it. And that was a I guess a straw
They
that brought
played
Campbell back.
in the role
To
while
with
they
them
walked
making
out.
a decision not to shake hands. And like, I don't know, Mikey said, to me, it shouldn't have been that big of a deal for them not to shake hands. I mean, even though Jordan brought about the point that, hey, when they beat us 3 years, I shook everybody's hand. But nobody had talked about you the way you had talked about them.
Yeah.
And so when people look at it, one like, well, Jordan did it, and, you know, it sort of loser. But nobody never said, you know, these things about Jordan. These guys came up with a way to beat. The only way they figured they could beat the Bulls was they came up with this Jordan rule thing where it got to be tough for them. And I think that was one of the biggest things that people want to throw at them. But other than that, you don't ever hear anything about the Pistons saying anything bad about the Bulls before the playoffs or anything like that. But I think that was a straw that brought the Campbell back with them. That's why the handshake thing never happened.
I don't blame him at all. It is what it is.
Yeah, especially if you were talking about
Yeah.
it prior to the end. It is what it is.
Yeah.
But like you said, you won. What you worry about?
Yeah, I wouldn't even care. I don't want one.
You
I be
shouldn't
too
care
busy
about
trying
what-
to celebrate.
Yeah, you shouldn't be
trying
caring
to shake
about
hands
what
anyway.
And we all agree here that Michael Jordan was a little sensitive.
A sensitive snitch.
Yeah.
Oh, snitch. I'm glad you brought it up. Why do you think he a snitch?
Oh, I knew Michael Jordan was a snitch on the first episode when he went in that room and saw what all them folk were doing, and then he gonna say it in the documentary. You don't tell them folk business.
Yeah,
He saw
teammate, yeah.
and then them folk interviewing old teammates. So we as the audience think, was you doing line? Was you doing line?
Yeah, he gonna make it good. And, he ain't do nothing.
Yeah.
Try to make it seem like
Don't
he
do
was
that, man.
a good at two shoot.
Yeah.
That's one.
He
Like
had to say all that.
he just want everybody to think he just. Oh my
I think
God.
a lot of when people overlooking some of the things that, when he sat back and thought about all the things that he said in the interviews, I think they hadn't even scratched the surface of why he's really feeling the way he really feels about how people gonna feel about him after the documentary is over. Because again, that point right there, it does. I mean, you talk about, to me, and again, I'm a big Jordan fan. Was a big Jordan fan, and I'm on the fence about some things that I've seen so far. But you just don't. I don't think that was necessary. What did he gain, or what did he get out of saying what he walked into in that hotel room with his teammates? I just don't. I don't see what he got. Why was that such a big issue as far as the Last Dance? I just don't think, because if you go back and put everything together, all people got to do is go back to the research. Okay, that time, who was on that team? Who were the people in there doing cocaine?
And another thing I don't think really necessary is to wait. Yeah, you can say it's really not his fault, but I still feel like his fault. Like the treatment Isaiah Thomas been getting too. Like after that last episode of
Man, he been handling himself well though.
Yeah, like the treatment he been getting, like he the bad guy. Michael Jordan just good two shoes. And I think that's further from the truth.
Well, I think if y'all saw the First Take and Get Up, I think Isaiah handled himself very well. And I think he really got what Stephen A. when he was like, okay, what Stephen A. was talking about was a plethora of people that said they didn't want him on the team, and he was like, put some name on him. You know what I'm saying? Because I've never been in a situation where I've told anybody, did an interview, and I told somebody this is off the record. See, what I don't like about it is that he said only people that he knew of that really had said that they didn't want him on the team. He said he's never actually heard Jordan say it, but he's actually heard Pippen say it and Karl Malone. Those are the only two people that he's actually ever heard say that they didn't want him on the team. Well, quite naturally, everybody knew the situation went on with him and Magic. It was some false allegations that he had put out that Magic was bisexual, or could have been that's the reason why he came up with HIV or whatever like that. But they come to find out, and they did their little thing together, and that didn't happen. And I believe Magic knows deep down in his heart that Isaiah didn't do that. And so I think Monday, when Magic does his, I'm anxious to see what First Take is going to be about Monday when Magic is on there. And I'm going to see whether or not Stephen A. is going to ask some tough questions with Magic and put him on the spot and find out what really was done. Because again, I think Isaiah's being mistreated. I think like he said, in 80 when he was scheduled to go to the Olympics, they boycotted. He was a Pan Am. He said he was the Pan Am most valuable player in the Pan Am games. He was the youngest player to ever voted most valuable player, and that's the only thing that's not on his resume was an Olympic gold medal. And I think they really hurt him. And like he said, if he finds out that the reason why they didn't vote him on the Olympic team was because he didn't shake somebody's hand, he's showing up it really does hurt even more now.
So let me stop you there. Bring that up.
But do you think? I don't think the whole team. I don't think people like Charles Barkley care. You know what I'm saying? Like people like that. Them people
Well,
like that.
I would like, and I know you want to say something, but I would love for this big. I would like for people. I would like for some of these guys who establish people like Barkley.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like Drexler, all these people to come out and like Isaiah said, step up. If I was one of the ones that didn't want him on the team, say it. You know what I'm saying? Because at the end of the day, right now, all the talk is geared toward Michael Jordan. If everybody felt that way, they don't leave Mike out there by himself. Don't let it be thought that Michael Jordan was behind it. Because me personally, I believe this. If Michael Jordan wanted him on that team, he would have been on that team.
Yeah.
If he did want him on that
I
team,
don't think he directly came out and said he
yeah.
didn't want Isaiah on the team, but I think it was known.
Yeah.
Like people knew how you felt about it.
So I mean, that's my thing about it.
I think that was my next question.
I think
Basically,
he
y'all
was the biggest draw.
That was my next question. So basically, y'all think that Michael Jordan played a huge part of him not being on that team?
Yeah, just all what they just said. Because if he wanted him on the team, he would have been on the team.
Yeah. I mean,
you gotta think about it. The other dude that hit him in the Stanford team, Rod Thorne, he was the guy that drafted Michael Jordan.
Yeah.
Wasn't his Isaiah Tillman coach? The coach of the team?
Yeah, but they said I was looking at some stuff this week, and it was like, you know, those people didn't have no say so in that. And they try to make it seem as like Chuck Daly could have forced him to put
Isaiah
on the team. He couldn't. I mean, and like Rod Thorne, he goes on the air today and say, hey, on this week and say Michael Jordan had nothing to do with it. Me and Michael Jordan had no conversation about Isaiah. And I'm like, you know, what are you supposed to say?
Yeah.
Okay, we all agree that Isaiah, deserves to be on that team. So if Isaiah was on the team, obviously somebody's gonna be taking out. So who do y'all think he should have been in the place of?
John Stockton or Christian Laettner?
Yeah, like they said, Christian Laettner. And I thought about it when everybody's talking about Christian Laettner and Shaq, and they said, they had to have one amateur on the team, and at that time Christian Laettner was probably the hottest. Yeah. He was the hottest college.
I don't have a problem with that.
So Christian Laettner, even though we know Shaq was better, Christian Laettner was the hottest college basketball player then. So I understand that part. But when it comes down to, not only Stockton, you're talking about Clyde Drexler, you're talking about people like that. Listen, somebody mentioned the other day, and I think we went back to Stephen A. It should have been Michael Jordan, Magic Johnson, Larry Bird, Isaiah Thomas, and you can pick. You can go from there after that. I mean, those four players should have been first four people on that dream team. And let's be real, if you want to really take somebody off the team that really had no bearing in winning, Bird back was shot. He was just there for the ride. He had nothing going on for the dream team. He could help them win if they needed to. So Chris Mullins, I like Chris Mullins. I think Chris Mullins was a good ball player, but Chris Mullins didn't deserve to be on that team for Isaiah. So I mean, it was a lot.
I did put just based off positions and stuff. I think John Stockton be the first one off. John Stockton is.
They got something to get, Justin.
Well, what blew me was and I've been defending Scottie Pippen about this, the last.
But I get more and more aggravated with him.
Yeah, man.
We do.
Because he
was a diva.
Well, he started. He's gone on again, and after the show go off, I go back and I look at different things on YouTube, and it's like he's the one that really hate Isaiah. He literally get out and say call Isaiah a snake. But he never say why. He never said why he talks and hate Isaiah so much. But he literally is one of the few ones that say Isaiah is nothing. He's a nobody.
You can't say he's a nobody.
He literally said that. And so, yeah. And so that's why, me personally, I'm kind of feeling some type of way about him now because at the end of the day, to me, I think he's speaking for some other people. Because just like Isaiah said in open court, I don't know if y'all see open court at the time, Isaiah said that, he can live with the fact that Michael Jordan had said, no, we don't need him on the dream team. But Scottie Pippen to say that we don't need him on the dream team, that to me that didn't sit well. But you know, I just think Scotty's right now. I'm feeling some type of way about him because again, you know, no matter how you feel about the man, you can't take away what Zeke done for the league because again, people forget about how you supposedly quote unquote had a migraine. Everybody talked about how soft you were. Well, how do you have a migraine when you can't stand up for the biggest moment, one of the biggest moments? And so, you know, I think he's just going overboard with that stuff with Zeke.
All right, from the first 4 parts we've seen so far, who do you think was the most important piece of the dynasty? Out of like Phil, Scotty, Michael, Jerry, Dennis, Ron Harper. Who y'all think?
Me personally, I think the most important person, I know a lot of y'all might disagree with me, but I think Jerry Krause. And the reason why I say that because other than Michael, none of them other people would be there if he didn't pick him.
Man, I don't know. I wouldn't say Jerry Krause. Me personally, I think, you know, based on what I've seen, I think the silent killer, silent part was the team. Could I use 2 people? I know.
No.
I would say the silent person that, and I do mean silent. It was the most important part of that would be Tex Williams. I mean, they were winning, they were scoring points and stuff like that, but until they implemented the triangle offense, I think again we talked about this earlier. It got everybody involved with the game, and it wasn't just about Jordan. And so I think I was listening to Craig Hodges again today, and he was talking about he don't understand why people don't run the triangle offense now. How he played for Tex Winter in college for 4 years, and he understood the triangle offense. So he was the one that told Jordan and me, "Oh man, if y'all just buy in, it works." And you know, you'll be amazed at just if you dig deep and you're seeing things and more stuff about what's going on and seeing more people that was involved with. Craig Hodges said that the triangle offense played a major role in that success. So I would say Tex Williams.
I think maybe you probably gonna agree. I'm gonna say the same. If you don't get that triangle offense, you don't get what we got.
I mean, I won't say that, but I want to say Phil. Like, Phil managed all them egos and stuff.
I get that, but he don't got that triangle.
Yeah,
he didn't have that. Let's be honest. That wasn't his offense.
I say
That
Phil.
wasn't the offense, but I think Phil, like, if you don't have Phil, say you still have Tex coaching that team.
Yeah.
That thing.
Yeah.
Phil was just a different with managing all that stuff. He knew what to do.
He know how to manage.
He knew what to do. He knew how to come at Jordan. He didn't back down from Jordan. Do you think Tex would have backed down? Phil didn't do that.
And
I agree with Tonyo. I think it was Phil too, because y'all said it wasn't Phil's offense, but Phil still had to put that system into his players and get them to buy in. Like Tonyo said, do you think Tex would have been able to get Jordan and Pippen all in the buy in?
See, that's what I'm saying. Think about it like this.
We
say Phil got them to buy in. Think about it. Tex was trying to sell Doug Collins on this offense way before, and Doug Collins never bought into it.
Hey, and let me stop y'all right there. All y'all bringing up good points about the EP play with important piece, y'all, but it goes back to who put all these people in the position, man. It's no Phil.
I mean, but at the end of the day, of course, he gonna be the main player. That Jerry, he put everybody where they at.
Yeah.
If it ain't for him, you don't get the job. So of course you gonna say. I mean,
he had to make that decision. Cause think about it, they had just made it to the Eastern Conference Final with Doug Collins, so that wasn't a popular decision. To get rid of him.
But think about it.
Promote Phil Jackson.
I just
Think about it. He drafted Scottie Pippen. Nobody know nothing about Scottie Pippen.
Yeah, but they say they'll go back and say Scottie Pippen was on everybody's radar. So when he was on somebody on Scottie Pippen. If Scottie Pippen was on everybody's radar, everybody knew how good and how talented Scottie Pippen was.
He had to pull off a deal to go get him.
Yeah, he pulled off a deal to go get him.
He ain't the most, like, do I agree? I think he was a butthole, yeah.
But he the same person that tore it up, right?
Yeah, he tore it up. He ruined everything he created. But I'm saying he put.
You can't give him credit for building the house, but then burning it down.
But you just said who you give him credit for the dynasty.
I think it's Phil.
I think you gotta.
But I think about though, even though I mean I agree, I give Phil a little bit. He managed them, but if you don't get that offense at all, you get the same Michael Jordan you got with Doug Collins. No matter who in that head coach position, you don't get them six. You don't get no three. You don't get them championships.
You don't
like
get
that.
Scottie Pippen.
If you don't get that offense, I don't care if Phil is managing that team. He is the coach. If he don't get that triangle offense, that ain't the same
But
team.
brother, go back to this.
Tex Winter was already there now. Keep in mind.
Yeah, that was the point I'm making.
there.
This is my point I'm finna make, man. Jordan was already there. I know first thing most people say, Jordan get all the credit. Jordan number one. Okay. Jordan was there before and they couldn't get out the first round. They were straight to get out the first round.
You can win the game.
Alright? So my thing is, Jerry Krause had to make it. You said they don't have to say they don't get trained offense, man. They don't get
Oh man ain't there.
Yeah, he ain't there.
But he was there before. But he was there before.
Think about it. Yeah, he was already there, right?
Yeah.
So Jerry had to make the decision. Okay, get Doug out, promote Phil.
So it had to be.
So all this started with Jerry Krause. Jerry Krause don't make the decisions he make, man.
But
none of it don't happen.
to go back, it was not Phil that brought it to Jerry about what was going on. It was Tex Winter that went to Jerry and said, "This ain't gonna work.
But
We
once
need
again,
this. We need this."
He had to make the decision. Just because he can't, even that truth, just because he can't, don't
Put
mean he had to make that
it
decision.
like that, in my opinion. Without those two, it don't work. I think you still can have Phil, the head coach, and you can still have all them people on that team. But I don't think it's successful without them two.